Hi, teacher.
Hey Frank.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Okay, guys.
Hello.
Hello, Nana. Can I call you Nana? Is that's your name here?
No, actually, my name is Carolina. Just
Oh,
on
okay.
my social
Caroline.
media appears Nana everywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna write it down here. Give me just 1 second. So I have Carolina. I have also Angie, Sonia. Hello. How are you? And I'm calling. Wait. Oh, Frank. Also is here. Um. All right. So I was also trying to call Jenny. Let me write it here in parentheses. But seems like she's not coming. So let's start. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. And alright, well, as you guys know, today we have a grammar session. This is an advanced session, and it's gonna be related to the topic of deductions. It's actually reductions about the past. I'll write it. What? So thick. 1 second, guys. This is so weird. Oh yeah, alright, let's do it like this. Deductions about the past. So let's have a quick warm up. And I want you guys to give me some examples of how you do deductions. In general, it can be about the present, the future, or even the past. That's today's topic. The kind of answer I'm expecting is, well, when I want to make a guessing or a deduction, I usually say, well, if I'm sure, I say I'm certain, or I say I'm pretty sure. If I'm not so sure, I always use the word maybe or perhaps. So let's start with you, Frank. What kind of phrases or words do you use to show a guessing or a deduction?
For example, if is a common word that I use to this deduction. Mm, Other word that normally I use is I think or I would think. I would think.
Okay, I will think.
Probably in the future. In the future. Mm, I don't know my words
That's
this
perfect.
moment.
So you gave me pretty much examples when you're not so sure about something. That is if, I think, I will think. So let's call being not so sure.
Teacher,
Yeah?
in in the deductions of the past, we use the moral verbs, yeah, and the past participle, and
Yeah,
the verb, modal verb, and have, and past participle, yeah.
that's perfect. Yeah. So
Okay.
can you please give me some of those examples? I mean, yeah, we can use modal verbs. We can also have very specific words such as I think, maybe, but give me one example, please, Angie.
For example, uh, she and 8. She would have, no, she could have bought some fruits. For example, she could have bought,
Okay,
some fruits. Algo que pudo haberse hecho en el pasado. She could
that's
have.
perfect. So you're using the modal
Okay.
verb could plus have, and you're making a deduction. She could have. What was your example again?
Bought.
She could have bought that.
The
Okay.
past participle of the verb buy.
Yeah.
Buy. That
Okay,
is the
that's a very
participle
good
of the verb
example.
buy.
So yeah, we can also use modal verbs, and I also want to know if you have any other words that you use. So Carolina, can you please give me some of overview of the experience you with these deductions?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not that sure. Since I mean, honestly, my grammar is not that good, but I'm not sure if this past deduction is related with when we guessing. Like we guessing something, so we say that might be or should it be or should to or can't or must. I don't know if it's those examples apply. Cause I'm not that sure.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's what I want you guys to make. So for the sake of simplicity, we're kind of realizing what words work when we're making guesses. So you said might be, must be, and we can also as use can or can't. In this case of past deductions, we can use 3 modal verbs. Well, it's actually 6, but if you want to remember this, guys, I want you guys to remember that the 3 that I'm gonna mention. Okay, so this lesson in particular is gonna be focused around the topic of modals. So modals. Alright, so let me give you a quick summary of the modals, of the 3 modals that I want you to remember. Let's make a plane. Let's say we have 0 here, and let's say we had 100. Let's call this, yeah, percent. And well, we want to locate some of those modal verbs in this plane. In the case of must, we use it with 100%. That means when we're completely sure about something, we use must. We can also make some guessings where we're not as sure as to be 100%, and well, let's call that 50%. And there we're gonna use might. But we also have the opposite side of the spectrum, and that's, let's do it right here, and we're gonna call that also 100%, negative 100%, and that's when we're sure something is not happening. In that case, we use can't. And those are the 3 modals that I want you to put special attention in this lesson. So let's start with the grammar explanation for that. Alright, so let me read this for you guys. Grammar explanation. We can use modal verbs for deduction / guessing, hyphen guessing, if something is true using the available information. The modal verb we choose shows how certain we are about a possibility. Notice how we're talking kind of a gradient. we're given a grade. So we show how certain we are about a possibility. And that's what I'm talking about in this plane. We can be either 50% sure, 100% sure, or negative 100% sure. And that's, well, it's not actually negative 100%, but we use it when we're not sure, when we're sure about something is not happening. Okay, so let's continue. Let's start with must have. We use must have plus past participle when we feel sure about what happened. So let's look at this example. Who told the newspaper about the prime minister plans? It must have been someone close to him. So here I'm using it must have been someone close to show that I'm pretty sure it was something close to him, to the agent of this sentence. Here we can divide this sentence into two phrases. This is the thing that I'm observing. Let's call this observation / reality. I cannot change the reality. That's the thing I know. And this is the thing I can say. This is my idea. So it must have been someone close to him. In the case of this idea, I'm pretty sure that well, it must have been someone close to him. And that's it. Now let's look at this second example. The thief must have had a key. The door was locked and nothing was broken. So this is kind of the opposite direction. This is the reality, the observation. The door was locked and nothing was broken. But I got someone who got in. So this is my idea. The thief must have had a key because the door was locked and nothing was broken. This is the reality. And remember, I cannot change the reality. I can only change the thing I think about that reality. In this case, I use the thief must have had a key. Now let's look at this third example. Oh good, we got milk. Mo must have bought some yesterday. So we got milk. That's the thing that I know, the thing that I'm observing, the reality. Mo must have bought some yesterday, and this is my idea. I'm pretty sure Mo must have bought some yesterday, so that's why I use must. Mo must have bought. Okay, now let's continue with might have. I can also say may have. It doesn't matter, they're interchangeable. But try to remember might have, because we often confuse must have with might have, and that is due to some kind of American artifact that we got from them. And yeah, so let's try to use more might have when, let me give you an explanation for that, when we're not as sure about something. So this goes in contrast to must. We can use might have or may have plus past participle when we think it's possible that something happened. Notice how I say it's possible. So we're not as sure it's gonna happen, or it happened in this case because we're talking about past actions. Let's look at these examples. I think I might have left the air conditioning on. Please, can you check? I'm not pretty sure I left the air conditioning on. I could have left it off. So I use might have because I have two possibilities. And well, yeah, I'm saying, please, can you check? Let's look at this other example. Police think the suspect may have left the country using a fake passport. So let's guess that police have not gathered enough proof to prove that. So they're saying that the suspect may have left the country using a fake passport. They're implying they're not sure about that, but it's a feasible possibility. So let me highlight it. The suspect may have left. Alright. We have a small parenthesis here. And may have is more formal than might have. Could have is also possible in this context, but less common. Since this is a British website, this is the British Council, they're saying could have is also possible but less common. They're talking about Britain, but could have is very, very common in America, and they actually use it right. We can use could have. I'm pretty sure most of you use it, since of course we're studying American English. Now, this last one, can have / couldn't have. We use can have and couldn't have plus past participle when we think it's not possible that something happened. So I'm pretty sure, again 100%, but this one goes on the other way, that something happened. I'm sorry, it's not possible that something happened. I should have highlighted there. Let's look at some examples. She can have driven there. Her car keys are still there. So it's not possible for her to drive the car, because if I see the keys, the car wouldn't start up. Now, okay, and I'm using can have because it's not possible. Let's look at this example. I thought I saw Adnan this morning, but it couldn't have been him. He's in Greece this week. So it's impossible for him to be, let's say, in Colombia, because he just went to Greece. So that's why I use it couldn't have been him. I'm so sure, actually 100% sure, it was not him. So that's it. You have must have, might have, and can have. Let me go back to the whiteboard to show you about something of those observations that I was talking. So the way we explain deductions is in the form of a triangle. It's an upside down triangle. Here we have the reality. And we make an observation of that reality. And from that reality, I get an idea. Let's say, for example, in the reality, there is a party. And from that reality, I make an observation, and I can say there is drunk people. And that's how deductions work. This is the deduction, this last one. The idea that I make from this big thing. Is also marked in the form of a triangle, because, well, the area here is wider. You see this? And the area here is not as wide. So we're gonna move to some exercises. I want you guys to tell me if so far is everything clear, or if you have any question.
Hey there. For me, it looks a little bit more clear, even when I know that we're using on the daily basis ideas, guessing, seeing on the structured way and the proper way that grammar works. It has been very, very useful for me. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Nice. Thank you for telling me that. So, let's move to the exercises. Some of those are gonna be a little bit confusing because when we're dealing with grammar, we're also dealing with logic. So, when we look at those exercises, first look at them logically. And if logic makes sense, let me write it. Then we can look to the grammar aspect. So let's start with the first exercise. Let me close this and open the exercises. So, why were there no buses yesterday? Maybe it was the snow, or they blank being on a strike. I have must have, might have, and couldn't have. Angie, can you please help me with this exercise?
Okay, teacher. Why are there no buses yesterday? Maybe it was the snow, they, mm, or they. uh, my have.
Might have. Okay.
My have.
Can you tell me why are you opting for might have in this case? What's the word that is giving you the clue, or how do you know about that in this specific sentence?
Okay. Okay. Most is for 100% short. In this case, but in this case to express possibility, no certainly. The person of certain is 60 or 70.
Excellent. That is a very good explanation.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So, in this case, this one is a very good clue. We have the word maybe. So I know the speaker is not as sure to say must. So if I see the word maybe, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be followed with might. Alright, and also, I have a second clue here. It was the snow. This is one possibility. Or, this is automatically telling me there's another possibility. They being on a strike. So this is a 50-50% chance, because there's only two possibilities. So yeah, very well. Might have in this case. Now, you blank seen her, surely. She was standing right in front of you. So, Carolina, can you please help me with this one?
Sure. Using her starting. Must be. Yes. I'm sorry. Must have. You must have seen her. Surely she was standing right in front of you.
And why do you think that's the option?
Because it says that she was right in front of you. So I'm sure in like you have to see that person.
Okay, very well. So thank you for that. Yeah, in this case, I have she was standing right in front of you. I'm using logic, so I have a factual information, a fact, and I also have a very good clue, and it's surely. That's telling me the speaker is sure about what's going on, about his idea or her idea. So she uses, you must have seen her, surely, she was standing right in front of you. Even sounds good to that. Must have. Okay, let's continue. Let's ask at reception to see if they have your keys. Someone blank found them. Frank, can you help me with this one?
Okay, teacher. Give me a second, please.
Yeah, of course. Take as much as you need.
Teacher, I think that this must have.
Okay, and why do you think that's the option?
Because it's a big probability that the people who is talking the sentence found the keys. For me.
Okay, so thank you for that. Let me explain you guys about this one because this one is kind of hard. So we have two actions here. Someone found them, we're talking about the keys, and also let's ask at the reception to see if they have the keys. Now we have to see if this first sentence is talking about something that is a 100% possibility or they're not as sure about something. So let's look at the reception to see if they have your keys. This let's look at the reception implies that they have not been there yet. They have yet to be at the reception. So we're talking about something that is not sure. That's how we know we're talking about a 50% chance to see if they have your keys. Also, to see if they have your keys is implying maybe they don't have it. They don't have the keys. So in this case, I have to use a modal verb that helps me realize that 50% chance. So Frank, which one would that be? If I'm talking about a 50% chance.
Which one? Might have.
Okay, so let's read it. Let's ask at the reception to see if they have your keys. Someone might have found them. Yeah, that's the answer. And also,
Teacher, excuse me, must have imply 100% and might had 50, 100. Yeah.
yeah, that's the simplistic way to put it. It's easy for you to remember it that way. When we're not assured of something, we use might. And we can call that 50% chance. Alright?
Alright.
Okay, so this one is also a very interesting exercise because most Americans would say must have. Even though we're talking about a 50% chance, even though we're showing that we're not sure about something, they say must have, and there is a fatal grammar mistake. I have been complying to that. I often use must have even when I have to say might have. So here what I want you guys to remember is that we should start using more of that might have when the odds are not as sure. Right? Let's start to use more of that might. It's very, very important because I see many of us do that mistake. So let's continue. He blank gone to Russia. He didn't have a passport. So Sonia, can you please help me with this one?
Sure, teacher. It could be couldn't have. He couldn't have gone to Russia. He didn't have passport.
And why do you think that's the option?
Because to travel, the person needs a passport, and it's not possible that he can travel if he doesn't have a passport. So Kent is not sure and 100%. So that is the probability is not possible.
Mm-hmm. It's showing that it's not possible.
That is
Very
the
well.
reason.
Exactly like that. Yeah. So you also did something that I recommended, and is that we first should look at logic before grammar. In this case, yeah, you cannot travel well, overseas or to other countries if you don't have a passport. So you use logic, and that's how we know that's not possible. When something is not possible and we're sure about that, we use couldn't have or can have. Is the same. Thank you, Sonia. Now, I explained the homework, but she did the wrong page. She blank misunderstood me. Let me see. Yeah, Jenny's here. So Jenny, can you please help me with this exercise? You have to unmute your microphone and talk.
Okay, hello teacher, hello partners. I explained it, the homework, but she the wrong page. She may have, excuse me, she can have misunderstand me.
Okay, and why do you think that's the option?
Okay, why do you think that's the option? Excuse me, oh my God, it's error.
Yeah, this one is confusing.
Teacher, that must have. Yeah, this one is confusing. Yes, must have. She must have misunderstood me.
Okay, that one now makes a little more of sense.
That one now makes a little more.
Can you please explain me why are you choosing now must have?
Why are you choosing now must have?
You can make a guess also.
You can make a guess. Because it's in the first sentence, the person said that is that he do the error, yes, and the other person, she understand that it is a must, it's an obligation, or it's obligation that is understand the error.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay, thank you. But I think so. No, it must have.
Okay, very well. So yeah, it's must have. Please mute your microphone right now, and I'm gonna guys explain you about that. So the first sentence that we have is I explained the homework, but she did the wrong page. Now we're clearly showing something in a negative aspect. So the idea that we got from that reality is that she misunderstood me. Don't let this miss confuse you, because if I say she misunderstood me, I'm showing this idea in a positive way. It's like saying she understood me. She misunderstood me is also a positive phrase. So in this case, I explained the homework, but she did the wrong page. I'm pretty sure she must have misunderstood me. I'm 100% sure about that. So that's why I use must have. So yeah, you were correct about that. Thank you, Jenny. Now, let's continue with this one. Oh no.
Okay.
Okay, my pleasure. So this exercise. Oh no, my phone's not in my bag. I blank left it at home. I have must have, can have, and couldn't have. So, Angie, please help me with this one.
Okay. Okay. Oh no, it's not in the back. I must have left it at home. There is 100% because if I leave out my home and my phone is not in my bag, I am certain, I am 100 certain that my phone is in my home. There is one must. I must have left it at home. I must have left it at home.
Very well. That was a perfect explanation. So yeah, being 100% sure your phone is not in your bag makes you think that you left it at home. Yeah, very well. So let's continue. No, give me just 1 second. Oh no, my phone is not in my bag. I must have. Yeah. Nothing to worry about that there. So, it is still a mystery how the robber gained access to the bank. Police are investigating whether the suspect blank known one of the employees. Carolina, can you please help me with this one?
Oh, sure. I would choose or may have, because the idea is that something happened. I mean, there is a mystery, the access to the bank. However, I don't have enough, or police don't have enough information about what happened. So it's an assumption. So it will be may have.
Very well. Yeah, that's correct. So, thank you for that. In this case, we're dealing also with logic. So it's they don't have enough information about that. This is what Carolina is saying. And also we have the word whether, and this is telling us that there's two possibilities. So the first one, whether the suspect known one of the employees, and there is an implicit one. It's also possible that the suspect didn't know anyone. So when I'm not as sure as something, I use may have or might have. Very well. And the last exercise. I blank left my wallet in the restaurant. I paid for the taxi home afterwards. Frank, can you help me with this last exercise?
Okay, for me the answer is number C. I can have left my wallet in the restaurant, pay for the taxi home afterwards.
Which one I didn't
Can
get
have,
that.
teacher.
Can have. And why do you think that's the option?
Because the person paid after for the taxi, he probably had the wallet after leave their restaurant.
Yeah, that's right. Very well. Thank you, Frank. So what Frank is saying is that he's looking at this sentence in timely manner. So I left my wallet in the restaurant, and I paid for the taxi home afterwards. So if I paid for the taxi, I'm pretty sure I couldn't have left my wallet in the restaurant, because how is that possible that I pay for the taxi? That's what Frank is saying. So I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. 100% sure. I use can't. I can also say couldn't. In the case of American English, it's most commonly used couldn't. So yeah, that's it. Let's make a quick summary off of this. So summary.
Teacher, please.
Yeah.
Teacher, please. I think that is a great problem when we present different texts because almost all texts are in British grammar. And for example, I studied a lot of grammar, but of American. And in this case, I confuse something that like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you now. So let me write that. So even though couldn't and can't are both interchangeable, so let's write here can't. This is for the case of just deductions. I'm not talking about in general terms, just deductions, all right? And couldn't. This one is often used in the UK, and this one is used in the US. Both are correct. Even some English people use couldn't, but it's more commonly used can't than could. This is when talking about deductions about the past. And also, something that I wanted to emphasize here is that when we are not as sure about something, that means when we have to use might, well, in the UK, most people use might. And that's fine, that's correct in grammatical terms. But in the US, it's very common to hear people saying must, even though they're not as sure about something. And that is an error. Please stay away from this. This is an error. This is when talking about being not as sure. And that's it. That's the only difference there is in this lesson about the UK and the US. Now, let's continue with our summary. Let's try to make it simple. So we have must, might, and can't. So let me scroll down. So Angie, can you please tell me how do we use must in the context of past deductions? Deductions about the past, I'm sorry.
Okay, teacher. Okay, teacher. We use when certain thing that sometimes is true. It's true, maybe based on some evidence. That is 100% certain when something is true.
Very well. Thank you for that. So let's try to keep it simple. True, 100%. Nice. Now, Frank, help me with might. How do we use might?
Might. Oh, you only have 50%? Oh, sure. Yes?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. 50% sure. Nice. And the last one. Sonia, please help me with can't. When do we use can't, or how would you remember that?
Well, we use can't when we consider it's not possible that something happens, so that means 100% not sure.
Very well. Well said. something is not possible. Also 100% sure. Thank you, Sonia. So that's it for today, guys. This was the lesson. I wonder if any one of you has a question. You can ask me anything right now.
No, it's clear, teacher. You said that it's more probably that you, for example, it's set that you two words and you say this word in a that no, for example, could or made.
Yeah, that's what the difference of the UK's and the US is, and that's the case of can't and could. And yeah, thank you for that, Frank. Now the last thing
Thank you, teacher.
of this lesson, what was the highlight of this lesson is using must. So guys, in the next time, try to use must, try to use might if you encounter something when you're not as sure of something. And that's it for today. I appreciate your participation. It was really nice having you guys here, and I hope you have a nice day. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye.
teacher, thank you so much.
Bye.
My
Bye.
pleasure.
See
Bye bye.
you next class.
My
See
pleasure.
you. All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.